You know that feeling, right? You ask an AI to solve a really complex problem. Maybe it's some code, a tough math question, or even a business strategy, and the answer you get back looks right. It sounds super confident, but it's just plain wrong. It's so frustrating. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on why that happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it.
So what's going on here? Is your AI just making a guess? Well, in a way, yeah, it kind of is. For anything complex, you can't just take the AI's final answer at face value. You've got to treat it like a math student and tell it to show its work. And trust me, that one little shift is the key to getting accurate results and unlocking what these tools can really do.
Really, what we're looking at here is a tale of two different AIs. First, you've got the reactive guesser. This is the one that just blurts out the first thing that comes to mind. But then there's the proactive planner, which actually thinks before it speaks. And in this explainer, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn that guesser into a planner.
Okay, so let's dig into the problem itself. It really all boils down to something called the immediate response trap, and it's baked into the very design of most standard AI models out there.
You see, you've got to remember that at their core, traditional large language models are basically just incredibly sophisticated pattern-matching machines. Their entire goal is to predict the next most likely word based on all the text they've ever seen. They're built for speed, for an immediate response. That means when you give them a multi-step problem, they often just skip right over the logical steps. And that's exactly where you get those confident-sounding but totally wrong answers, what people call hallucinations. But what if an AI could actually think differently? This is where we get to the solution. Let's talk about a new kind of model that was built specifically for this kind of challenge: reasoning models.
Now, some people call these large reasoning models, or LRMs, but honestly, the label isn't what's important here. It's the process. These systems are specifically fine-tuned to work through problems step by step, in a sequence. This makes them the perfect engine for tackling really complex stuff, like business logic, coding, or any task that has more than one step.
So how in the world do they do this? Well, it's a technique called chain of thought reasoning. Basically, it's a process where the AI creates this kind of internal monologue for itself. It breaks the problem down into smaller pieces, works through all the steps, and, this is the important part, it checks its own logic before it ever gives you the final answer.
And you've definitely seen this in action, even if you didn't know what was happening. You know when you ask a chatbot a question and you see that little thinking status bubble? You're actually watching this process happen in real time. Let's take a look at what's really going on in there.
Probably the easiest way to get your head around chain of thought is to just picture the AI having a little conversation with itself. It's kind of exploring the problem, thinking about different ways to solve it, and fixing its own mistakes as it goes. And this process has a really clear flow to it. First, it figures out what your goal is. Then it creates an internal plan, like a roadmap to get to the answer. And here's the crucial part. As it goes through that plan, it's constantly self-correcting. Only after it's done all that hard work and checked everything does it finally deliver the answer to you.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, but how do you actually get an AI to do this? That's what we're getting into next. We're going to look at how you can unlock this incredible reasoning power with just one super simple phrase.
And you know, the best part about all of this is that it's not some secret feature that's only in special models. Nope. You can trigger this kind of high-level, step-by-step thinking in pretty much any modern language model. We're talking GPT-4, Claude, you name it. All it takes is a little bit of smart prompt engineering. You've got the power to do this.
All right, here it is, the magic phrase that unlocks the planner. All you have to do is add this simple instruction to your prompt. Think through this step by step. That's it. By just telling the AI to follow a process, you snap it out of that bad guessing habit and force it into a logical, structured workflow.
So why is this one little phrase so powerful? Well, for starters, it gives the AI a logical blueprint to follow. This structure makes the AI slow down and actually catch its own mistakes before they ever get to you. And the result? You get a massive boost in accuracy, especially for those really important tasks like writing code, solving tricky math problems, or figuring out a complex strategy. Okay, so let's put it all together. Once you understand this and start using this simple technique, you basically get a new AI superpower. You can turn your AI from a kind of flaky guesser into a seriously reliable planner.
And I mean, the difference this makes is just night and day. Before, you had the reactive guesser, totally unreliable for anything tricky. But now, you've unlocked the proactive planner, an AI that actually corrects itself to find the right path. It's a huge, huge upgrade.
So the big takeaway here is this: you are in control. You now have the key to completely change how your AI thinks,
shifting it from just making guesses to actually doing some real, structured planning.
This really changes the whole game for how you can use AI for tough problems. You don't have to just cross your fingers and hope for a good answer anymore. You can actually guide the model to get there. Which, of course, leaves us with one final, pretty exciting question. With this new level of control, what complex problem are you going to solve now?